Good evening. This will be going over the wall spawner and some of the features recently added to it. The wall spawner has three modes: normal mode, chain mode, and square mode. In normal mode, it will place walls between pings that you make on your table. The walls will take the color and transparency of the wall spawner. You can set that color here. It will take the height as defined here, and this height is in grid squares. So if you make something that is 2 grid squares high, when you place walls, the wall will be 2 squares high according to the grid on Tabletop. It also takes the offset into account. So if the offset is 0, it will spawn on the ground the same height as the wall spawner. All heights and offsets are taken into account from the position of the wall spawner. So if you set this to 1, it will spawn walls 1 square into the air, 1 square high. In chain mode, we'll change the spec to 0. In chain mode, it will continually spawn walls in between your pings. In square mode, this is a little bit different. It will cover the square that you ping with a floor. Once again, taking the color and transparency of the wall spawner. So over here, if we cover these 2 squares with a 1 vertical offset, there is going to be a floor floating in the air there. Keep in mind that if you do put the wall spawner on top, that new walls or floors that you place will be with reference to the wall spawner. So now with a 1 vertical offset, that is now up there. And also keep in mind that since it is based on the height of the wall spawner, if you set it as 0 and go next to it, because this is sitting on a floor, that floor is now slightly higher. This is useful for doing things like area of effects. So let's say you have a bunch of spider webs on your floor. If you want to put spider webs on your floor, you place your wall spawner there, and in square mode, you can place little bits on top of your floors. And putting it up here, you can spawn that same thing there. So it will put things on top of the floors however high you go with it. You can stack it up as much as you want. When you turn it back to, when you change modes, the start and end ping locations are reset. So normally when you, oops, let's change this back to full black. We'll just be fancy and go red. If you notice how it remembered where my last ping was, it will always remember even between people, even between individual players, where the last ping was. So if you want to reset that and you want to skip a location, just swap yourself around back to that and it will reset its starting location. One of the best ways to drop walls is using the top-down view. So in the top-down view, you can see exactly where the walls are, where all the vertices are. So I would suggest whenever you plan out spawning your walls, that you do it using top-down mode. So you can, notice it remembered where my last ping was. We can ignore that for now. In here, you can place your walls exactly where you want. If you want to do a gap, I would suggest swapping out modes and then continuing. Then if you want to put in a door, so we want a blue door, then come in later and overlap these with your blue. And I did not swap modes, so that is going to be like that. So now there's not any gaps if you want to use a Fog of War revealer. And it's obvious where a door is. That is the wall spawner. I hope it is useful to you guys. Take care and have a wonderful evening.